My next guest just won the GOP primary to take on Elizabeth Warren for a U.S. Senate seat. I want to bring in our Republican Senate candidate from Massachusetts, John Deaton. My man, congratulations.
Thank you, Charles. It was a good victory, but
It's
that's
it's
not the reason I got in the race.
But why did you win? Why did voters resonate with you?
Because I am the walking, living, and breathing embodiment of the American dream. 65% of the voters got together. They see that I can beat Elizabeth Warren. I know a lot of people doubt that, Charles, but it can be done. No one's unbeatable.
Right. Okay. So there's one thing to win the GOP primary.
Right.
How do you get enough in the state? Because a lot of people just feel like this is voting, for the same old person. I don't know that they even know the issues anymore.
Well, the problem is, though, illegal immigration, inflation. Massachusetts is now the second most expensive state to live in. It's crushing us. And this is what's happened, Charles. They went so far left, they've offended center-left folks. And if they see a reasonable, common-sense alternative, they're voting for them. And that's me.
I have your book on my desk, and your story is absolutely phenomenal. Talk to the audience, because maybe everyone doesn't know your story a little bit.
Well, I come from extreme poverty, grew up in Detroit, single mother on welfare and food stamps, surrounded by violence. I was forced to be a high school dropout because of gun violence early on. At 14, I vowed I'd break cycle, and if I became a dad, I'd be a good dad. And I am the embodiment of the American dream, Charles, and everything that's capable in a great country like ours. I got in this race because I see that dream dying, and I don't want to be the last poor kid to make it out of poverty in this country. I'm going to do something about it.
So the bottom line, it's still possible, because it seems to me that this race really is one side saying you cannot do it on your own. Give us the power. Give us the power to be big government. We'll pick winners and losers. We'll make sure you always come in first place. And the other side saying, pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Right.
That's frightening to a lot of people these days.
It is, but this whole idea of our country is about self-determination, that your birth does not dictate your destiny, and that in America we get to dictate our destiny. And the fact that I'm running against one of the most entrenched Washington elites, that alone proves the American dream's alive, and I'm going to preserve it, Charles.
Elizabeth Warren, I mean, she said America's problem. She talked about gun violence, what you mentioned, but she said the racial wealth gap and some other things, all connected to the concentration of the hands of the wealthy and the well-connected. And it seems so amazing to me. These people have been in D.C. for decades, and they keep coming up with the same story, but their policies always seem to help the well-connected. Right? Billionaires made more money under Warren and Biden than they ever made with any other president.
100%. But Charles, it's the approach that's fundamentally flawed. She's great at fighting against things and people and issues. It's not the same as fighting for. For example, she's great at fighting against the rich and the wealthy, she claims.
But she's great with the rhetoric.
Right.
I haven't seen any evidence that she's beaten them.
That's right. But her approach, that's not the same as fighting for the poor and for the middle class. My approach is uplifting. We do not have to tear other people down to lift people up, and I think it's going to resonate. People are ready for an uplifting approach, Charles.
We've seen some socialists lose in the last election cycle. A lot of Democrat socialists, at least 3 or 4 of them, on the congressional side. Warren is a big target. Do you think he can really pull it off?
I do. Listen, if former Governor Charlie Baker was running in this race, he would smoke her by 15 points. That was a poll last year. I'm not Governor Baker. I don't have his name recognition, but it proves that she's vulnerable. And if you don't mind me saying, JohnDeatonForSenate.com, they can go out there and they can help me. I can win this race.
Say it one more time.
JohnDeatonForSenate.com. I can win this race, everyone. Please help me. We're going to defeat Elizabeth Warren.
I'm so glad to see you wearing your sneakers, my man, because you know what? It's going to take a whole lot.
Inspired by you, my man.
It's going to take a lot of shoe leather, though, to win that one.
Thank you, brother.
Scott Brown. Don't never forget Scott Brown, because it is possible for a Republican to win there.